Catastrophizing, the tendency to exaggerate the severity of a problem or situation, or expect the worst possible outcomes. Sound familiar? This is a very common cognitive distortion, especially for those who suffer from depression or anxiety. Catastrophizers view their experience through a negative lens, which has a huge impact on their thoughts and emotions. The difference between normal anxiety and catastrophizing is that some anxiety can play a positive role in a person's life. For example, anxiety can help to protect oneself in a dangerous situation or be a motivating factor to achieving your goals. Catastrophizing, though, doesn't usually have any benefits and often keeps us in a negative thought loop that takes away our ability to focus on the reality of a situation. Thoughts are extremely powerful and can convince us that the worst-case scenario is surely what will happen. And these catastrophizing thoughts can then lead to depression or panic. By learning to recognize these beliefs, you are able to challenge them and change them to a more fitting narrative that doesn't leave you feeling hopeless or anxious. Recognize, challenge, replace. A simple framework to shift perspective. Some examples of catastrophizing are, if my partner leaves me, then I will never find anyone else, and I'll never be happy. If I fail this test, I'll flunk out of school, and everyone will be disappointed in me. If I make a mistake at work, I'll be fired, and I won't be able to find another job. They haven't answered me. They must not want to be my friend anymore. One way to decatastrophize your thoughts is to put these thoughts on trial by challenging them with evidence. Just how likely is it that this worst-case scenario would actually come true? And if an unwanted outcome did happen, what are the chances it won't be as big of a problem as you imagine it to be, and that you will be okay in time? For example, if you don't get a job you applied for, will you never find a good job? This is unlikely based on the fact that there are many jobs out there. What is most likely to happen is that you'll have to apply to other positions, and even though it may take more time than you expected, you will eventually find another job. Decatastrophizing your thinking helps to keep the problem in perspective and allows you to focus on the reality of the situation. It also helps you channel the appropriate amount of energy to the problem and handle it effectively without dwelling on it too much. Stressing over worst-case scenarios only makes it harder to face the situation. Trust in yourself and your ability to handle these challenges. Don't let catastrophic thinking be a barrier to your happiness or make you feel like you are stuck. If you find yourself catastrophizing, think about what you would say to a friend who is experiencing these fears or worries. What would you say to help them see that their mind might be getting carried away in their thinking? What reassurances would you offer to help them feel more at ease about their fear? This same language can be what you use to cope with catastrophizing in your thinking. Also, try this exercise. Write out the worst possible outcome, and on a scale of 0 to 100%, how likely it would be to actually happen. Next, write out the best possible outcome. Think of its likelihood, and remind yourself of your past resilience. Then, consider the most likely outcome, which is somewhere in between these two. This helps you find a much more realistic perspective. By practicing decatastrophizing, we can break free from worst-case thinking, ease unnecessary stress, and create more space for calm, balanced, and realistic perspectives.